What's going on, y'all? It's time to lock in. Lock in live, week 5, man. We here with it. Win, lose, or draw. We're here to talk about our New York Giants. We're here to talk about our team and where we're headed as a franchise, where we're headed on the season, where we are as fan base right now, man. It could be a little disgruntling for some, could be a little down for some. But we're here to talk about the New York Giants, man. Another game, another week, another opportunity to change the narrative, man. Another opportunity to change the narrative or keep the same narrative. Are we here to talk about a quarterback? Are we here to talk about a next coach? Are we here to talk about Malik Neighbors? We got a lot of things to unpack, a lot of things to even talk about with this team and the direction that we're headed in, man. But once again, man, make sure if you're in the chat, say what's good in the chat, like the stream. You already know we're trying to push the content out there. And we read every single chat in the chat, man. That's what we're here for, man. It's time to lock in, y'all. It is time to lock in. And I'm going to be honest. Right now, the biggest things coming out of New York right now for the Giants, man, right now, the biggest things is trade deadline. Are we going to unload some people at the trade deadline? Right now, Malik Neighbors' health is one of the main points of topic right now. Daniel Jones, is he going to finish the season as our quarterback? And who will the next quarterback be for the New York Giants? Those are the 4 topics that are going around right now for the New York Giants, man. Unfortunately, it's not about where we're going to be seated in the playoffs. It's not about where we're seating in the NFC East, which if you haven't seen my last video, man, make sure you check out my last video. I talked about the NFC East. I think the NFC East is super vulnerable for certain teams, and the Giants are fumbling a big opportunity, a huge opportunity. The teams in the NFC East are not as strong as they've been for the past couple of years. And in my opinion, obviously, teams continue to build on throughout the year. But right now, the Cowboys don't look like Cowboys. The Eagles don't look like the Eagles. And the Commanders, they're looking really good right now. But I don't even think that they're going to be, the same team by the end of the season. Call me a hater. Call me what you want. I don't think Washington is going to continue to play at this pace forever. So that leaves it to be said. Here are the Giants at last place. At last place, man. Omega was good, man. Appreciate you for tapping in consistently, my guy. Appreciate you for joining up, man. Yeah, man. Where do y'all feel like we are with this Giants team right now, man? Where do you feel like this Giants team is right now? With the state of the NFC East, once again, that I spoke on in the last video. This team shouldn't be 1-3 at the bottom of the NFC East, man, especially with certain matchups that you've seen. We definitely should have taken care of business against the Commanders. And that Cowboys game is still sick. Cowboys game still leaves me sick, man. I believe we went live once since that Cowboys game. We went live right after the game. And you can tell, man. You can tell that the energy was a little off, man. But overall, it's because we know this team continues to show the same production when we should be producing better, man. We should be playing better. We shouldn't be losing games. And we say this on this channel for the past couple of years, the last 2 years. 2022 was a ride, but here we are. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. And the Giants have been on the wrong side of it, man. Omega saying we are closer to the Eagles in Dallas. The Eagles in Dallas don't look like the top teams anymore. And it's very early. Things can change. The Eagles right now, they have some people banged up. That definitely affects, how the team is going to run, of course. Jalen Hurts looks like Daniel Jones without his weapons. I mean, Jalen Hurts with just Saquon and no wide receivers. That sounds like Daniel Jones' whole, career. Reese Puffs, appreciate you for tapping in. He said we should be 3-1. It's easy to say that, man. The Vikings look like a top team in the NFL for sure. I mean, they have to be a top team in the NFL with their record. Obviously, they're undefeated. Almost gave it up to the Packers at the end. But, the Vikings look like a good team. And looking back at it, man, the Giants were in every other game. Every other game they played. We just didn't play sound football. That's the most disappointing part. We continue to shoot ourselves in the foot and not take advantage of certain opportunities, man. If I'm looking towards this week, man, and we're here to talk about, the Giants in general, but we're also here to talk about the matchup with the Seahawks. Without Malik Neighbors, man, you can kind of kiss every reason goodbye. I'm going to be honest, man. Of course, our quarterback got to go out there and produce. This team still has to go out there and produce, man. But Malik Neighbors is right now a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now. Not saying he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league in general. Just at this point in time, at this current juncture, with the production, with the receptions, with how open he's getting, with everything he's producing right now, he's a top 5 wide receiver right now. And being without him would hurt. It would hurt tremendously if he wasn't able to play, man. It would hurt tremendously. We are better than the Commanders, but they won. But that was a coaching mistake. I definitely think we got outcoached. And to be fair, I mean, looking at it compared to other people, we held the Commanders to only field goals. Like this team offensively has been a juggernaut the past couple weeks. I think they just hung up 40 points on the team, man. So I'm saying, like, right now, the Commanders look really good, but look at what the Giants could have done. We could have beat the Commanders, man. We could have beat. And I'm not trying to be a coulda, woulda, shoulda, but in reality, we really should have won that game. We should have. I'm wondering if Banks can cover DK Metcalf. I'm thinking no way. Right now, I think DK is a really bad matchup for Banks. I mean, right now, you can argue any guy is a bad matchup for Banks right now. Just because he's not making a play on the ball, but Metcalf being the strong guy that he is, I mean, he's going to be fighting for the ball. Metcalf at the point of the catch, man, that's where we're going to see if Banks can really make a difference. We know he's going to be in phase. We know he's going to be right up there with him, but it's about making a play on the ball. I'm saying your boy Vocal Vike is a cool dude, and the fans are cool too. I always get in the chat to give them props after they win, for sure. Hey, man, if y'all didn't know, we did go live with Vocal Vike in the beginning of the year. And something that I still hold on to, man, I told him, I said, who knows? We were both speaking on the state of our teams, of course, the Giants and the Vikings. And let's be honest, the Vikings didn't look like they were going to go undefeated up until this point to start off the year. The quarterback gets hurt. Everything goes wrong for them in the beginning. But Sam Darnold cooks us and cooks the rest of the league. And I said it during our last show. I said, who knows? We could be talking about a playoff matchup in the end of the year. Obviously, I was talking about for us, the Giants are not going to be that team, but the Vikings look like they should be in playoff contention. We'll see what continues to happen, but yeah, man, they got things rolling. Shout out to Vocal Vike. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe to him. Support my boy. No Malik, no win. Flat out, man. Paul, you said it best, man. No Malik, no win. Appreciate you for joining in. Seahawks secondary are for sure giving DJ hell. Man, they gave him hell last year, and that's the game that you walked away from last year, which was that Seahawks matchup where you felt like, all right, this got to be the game where, we kind of figure ourselves out where we're going to be, how we're going to match up against other teams. The Seahawks last year killed our spirit. They really did. The defense, that pick six that DJ threw, man, that bad vibes. We can think back to how many times, we've gotten bad vibes after certain games. That Seahawks game last year was definitely one of them. Definitely. So hopefully it's not a repeat, but can it get worse? Can it get worse than it is right now? Can we be honest? Not too sure. Ever notice J Love is always hurt when they play us? I wish we were seeing that Julian Love against the Giants, man. But, Leonard Williams should be able to play. That's a former Giant right there. Leonard Williams on the Seahawks. That's going to be a matchup to talk about, man. Before we talk about the Seahawks, man, let's unpack this real quick. Let me know your thoughts in the chat, man. Where do you stand with the trade deadline? So, obviously, the trade deadline is approaching. It's not super, super close, but we got to talk about it because the way this team looks like, there's no reason we should be buyers, which I agree with. We should not be buyers at this trade deadline. But would you want to move away the likes of Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton? People are talking about trading away Dexter Lawrence. That is not happening, y'all. Anyone who thinks we will actually trade Dexter Lawrence, the door, bro. The door, man. Come on. What do y'all takes on trading away Jalen Hyatt or Darius Slayton? In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't think you trade either of them. Just being honest. I think with Darius Slayton hasn't been producing yet. I expect him to come around eventually. Malik Neighbors is getting all the attention. These guys going to end up producing somehow, some way. Darius Slayton dropping the ball in this past game was not good for him, but he did have, 2 times that he had to step on a DB, and we didn't take advantage of it. DJ didn't throw the ball right to Darius Slayton. So in my opinion, man, I think when you look at this team and looking around the league, obviously we talk about the Chiefs. We talk about other teams that need wide receivers. Darius Slayton is going to be the headliner, but in my opinion, I think you keep him. Now, a lot of people are not going to be a fan of that. Why? Because you want Jalen Hyatt to play. You want Jalen Hyatt to get reps. I just think personally, what you're going to get for Darius Slayton is not going to be what you want. Now, some may argue, hey, you're going to lose him in free agency. Might as well. Who knows? Who knows, man? Darius Slayton was supposed to be gone a couple times now. He's still here. So who knows? He could really be back. He could really be back, man. Let's catch up. Let me see what y'all thinking about the trade deadline. Geno, Tyrod, Saquon, and so many others hate the Giants after they leave. Hey, Geno goes underrated, but yeah, Geno definitely has some ill will towards us, rightfully so. I don't see us selling at all, and I agree. I don't see us buying, but I don't see us trading away pieces like that. I'm gonna be honest. There's not too many pieces that are super valuable that you're looking to trade off of. Like if a deal like a Leonard Williams type offer, if someone offers a 2nd round pick for Darius Slayton, then I'm trading him. I'll be honest, I'm trading him. If it's not a 2nd round pick, I'm not trading him. Maybe a 3rd rounder, maybe I'd push that, but yeah, man. Juke, give me a reason why Hyatt has been invisible since he's been drafted, because DJ can't throw an accurate deep ball? ? Listen, man, I have no reason to tell you. I'm going to be honest. I'll try to unpack it as much as I can. Jalen Hyatt came into this league known as a deep route runner, where he's going to run right past guys, and that's kind of his only bag. That's the only bag he has right now. Came into the league. The first time we see DJ with the Hyatt connection was the deep balls against the Cardinals, and then we never seen it out of DJ and Hyatt again. Tyrod Taylor was able to get this guy featured a bit. You saw him open. You saw him trying to throw the ball to him. But ever since, that Cardinals game with Daniel Jones, he hasn't been targeted like that by Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt had a slant pass, a screen pass as well. But you didn't really see too much take place. They aren't featuring him. They are. You got to imagine there's more to it for sure. Because once again, this is a guy that they traded up for in the 3rd round to go draft. You don't do that expecting not to play the guy. And unfortunately, he's not playing right now. Reese Puff saying maybe Darius Slayton. Once again, I'd 100% trade Darius Slayton for the right price. But I'm not trading him for a 5th rounder. I'm not trading him for a 6th rounder. I think the production you get out of Darius Slayton should be better. And once again, if you want to see this offense be any type of lethal, trading away one of your better wide receivers, and not saying the best, but one of your better ones, doesn't make sense like that. Unless someone is super needy and trades the right piece, man. That's where I stand on it with trading away players. Hopefully, Jalen Hyatt finds his way on his team. Hopefully, Darius Slayton continues to produce at least a little bit. Because once again, with Wandale and Neighbors getting majority of the targets, Darius Slayton is not used to not getting targets like this. Let's be honest. He's been the focal point for this offense, receiving wise for a while. Been leading the Giants in receiving yards for a while. This year the production was definitely expected to go back, but still should be able to expect something out of him. Still should be able to get something out of him. I just got the alert, man. I don't know if you guys are Yankee fans in here, but Yankees facing off against the Royals. Listen, I'm gonna always be tapped in with the Giants, of course, and they're my number one team, number one sport. But I need these Yankees to give me some excitement. Give me some excitement, man. Give me some excitement. Omega saying if Slayton goes to the Chiefs, it will be a late 2nd rounder anyway. I would do that. See, I would do that. Even if it's a late 2nd rounder, you can look at that as a package to trade up. You know what I'm saying? So late 2nd rounder, early 3rd rounder. I'd trade Darius Slayton for that, but I don't see anyone offering that, especially with him going into a contract year. You would probably trade something like that, especially if you think that you're going to re-sign the guy. And if you really like the guy, I don't see anyone giving us a 2nd rounder for Darius Slayton. But if they did, take him. Everything I said about Darius Slayton, I love him. Besides the drops, I love him. 2nd rounder, bye. See you later. Paul saying, are you ready to call Kayvon a bust at the number 5 overall pick? No consistent pass rush and bad against the run. It's hard for me to say bust because I think when you say bust, obviously, is he living up to the number 5 overall pick? No. But I wouldn't consider him a bust, and here's why. Busts normally are unplayable. Guys that can't see the field. Guys that don't produce at all. Kayvon does produce a bit. Is he living up to the number 5 overall pick? Definitely not. Definitely not living up to that pick. But being a bust, I don't believe he's a bust, man. Evan Neal, that's a bust. That's a prime example of a bust. The production's not there with Evan Neal. He's not on the field. He's not starting for us anymore. He's not even playing right now. And this guy was a number 7 overall pick. Evan Neal is a bust. And we're going to have a video on Evan Neal definitely in the coming weeks. I don't know if I want to drop it in the middle of the week. It'll kind of be a negative video, but, the story has to be talked about, man. The story with Evan Neal has to be talked about, and that's got to be one of the reasons why Joe Schoen, if he's out after this year, which some people might not want it, if Joe Schoen is out, Evan Neal is going to be an example of one of the reasons why. Now, you hope that guys can play, but, when you make those picks, you can't miss. And Evan Neal was a miss. Evan Neal was a flat-out miss. Flat-out miss. That's a bust in my opinion, Paul. That's a buzz. Y'all let me know how y'all feel on that, man. We need some draft capital to move up in the draft to get our QB. 100%. If guys are willing to deal us second-round picks, third-round picks for some of our players, which, once again, I don't know who they would be willing to do that for besides Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas, and you're not trading those guys. I do it. I definitely do it. Omega saying, let's go Bronx Bombers. Let's go Yankees. Hey, man. I 100% agree. That's what we're here to talk about, man. Applause. I think I was hitting the wrong button, y'all. We still trying to get used to the soundboard. I believe this one's the applause. Yankees, go all the way. Go all the way. Give me some excitement, man, in New York. Give me some excitement. We're not Mets fans around here. I don't know about you guys. If you're a Giants fan, you should be a Yankees fan. Flat out. If you're a Giants fan, you should be a Yankees fan. Where's no Mets, no Nets, no Jets? That's a prime example we should be looking at. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. It's not how we rock out here. Paul, appreciate you saying, what college quarterback would you be excited about as of today if we were in the position to draft him? So I speak on this, and I don't think – I'm very cautious when I say these things, but I don't think I'll get canceled for it or anything. But when will the Giants draft a black quarterback? That is beyond me. I'm just being honest. I don't see it happening. So in my opinion, man, like you can shift your focus to obviously guys like Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck. But in my opinion, I think if that is pushed to the side, we haven't seen a lot of it, but a lot of opportunities to draft a quarterback. I like Dwayne Haskins coming out, and they stayed away from him. Dwayne Haskins, RIP, but he was not the level of a player that Daniel Jones is, and that says a lot. But in my opinion, I look at guys like Cam Ward and Shador. For sure. Cam Ward and Shador. Jalen Milroe is starting to heat up a bit, and I'm starting to, warm up to him. Jalen Milroe from Alabama. But Cam Ward, this guy got to be the Heisman candidate, leader, right? We got to expect that right now. Miami's undefeated. They'll continue to play some games. We'll see where they head. But right now, Cam Ward has been unbelievable throwing the ball. He's not the runner that Jalen Milroe is, and Shador's not that much of a runner either. But, this guy, he got an arm. And he's playing well. He's throwing guys open, making tight throws. I like Cam Ward right now. I really do. And it's such a crapshoot because, they can look all this good in college and never really translates to the NFL. And I think about guys like Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins, I think he looked good at Oklahoma, but, there's a reason why I don't get paid millions of dollars to draft guys. There's a reason why, and that's the reason. Dwayne Haskins never lived up to it. Subway Series, I don't know about the Mets. Going all the way. I'm a Nets fan, though. I live in Jersey and follow them into Brooklyn. I can respect it. Now, I will say, we talked about it before. I don't think I have anything behind me, but, I've been a Bulls fan. And the reason why I'm a Bulls fan or was a Bulls fan, and I'm not completely off of them yet, but the reason why I'm a Bulls fan is Derrick Rose, and he just retired. So I think it's only right that since he retired, maybe I'm a free agent. Knicks is traded for Karl Anthony Towns. Might have to start talking about the Knicks. We might be on that type of time, and we'll see. Would Jalen Milroe be taking away production from Malik? I definitely do not think so. I definitely don't think so. I think if you get a guy like Milroe, once again, I think he's the most mobile quarterback out of those guys. But also his deep ball is looking great. He's made throws. And once again, I think it's hard to tell in college because the gap between college and the NFL is so wide, man. Even with the SEC, which obviously they're playing the SEC. Say what you want, man. Guys at Alabama, Mac Jones. Look at Mac Jones with weapons. And in the league, he had one good year, and that was it. It's hard to tell with some guys, but Jalen Milroe, after that Georgia game, he's definitely going to start heating up in terms of where they're being taken. And right now, here we are talking about quarterbacks with the state of the Giants right now. We're talking about our next quarterbacks. But once again, I think you have to look at it a bit since he runs. Yeah, I don't think he would take away production, though. Totally agree on the black quarterback take, and I'm an old white guy. LOL. I think Milroe looks tremendous. 100%. It's just I don't know when we'll see the Giants front office make that pick. I don't know. And has there been like a track record of thinking that we won't see it? I don't know. Just truly, I don't know. It's just a vibe I get. You haven't seen a black quarterback be in this franchise. Besides, you think of guys like Geno Smith, and look at what Geno Smith is with Seattle, and the Giants wouldn't even give him a shot. Would he even give him a shot? Would he have been the same player? I can't tell you that, but he never even got a shot. So that's where I'm kind of at. That's where I'm kind of at with it, man. That's where I'm kind of at with it. So we spoke on, Malik Neighbors being hurt a bit. What is one thing you want to look forward to in this matchup, man, with the Seahawks? I think we look at the Seahawks team. They did just go down to the Lions. They were undefeated 3-0, and they just lost their first game to the Lions. This offense is going to put up points, man. This offense is going to put up points. I expected it with the Cowboys. The Cowboys, we kind of shut them down a bit, but I do think it was more on the Cowboys. This Seahawks team, they're good. Offensively, they're nice. It's going to be a big bet on our DBs, our young DBs, to go out and stop Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN. I think Smith and Jigba's battling a little bit of an injury. I could be wrong. I don't know if he still is. But this team is definitely a well-oiled offense. Geno Smith has been playing great. And it's really going to come down to if our defense can stop this offense. And we know it's always the same thing every week, man. Is the Giants offense going to put up points? That's the kicker. Is the Giants going to put up points? That's the kicker, man. This offense, and I've seen the stat floating around. I'm not too sure who's posting it. But the Giants offense has averaged 15 points over the last 2 years so far, this year and last year. So not being able to put up points like that has been, the Achilles heel for this team. This defense has not been the greatest, but it also has been serviceable. We should have been winning games with this defense. And right now with this Giants offense, man, it's going to be hard to win games if we're not putting up points. If we're not going to be putting up points, it's going to be tough, man. Omega saying, I was a Bulls fan and Oakland A's fan in the 80s and 90s, but once those dynasties ended, it made no sense for me to convert to the Nets and the Yankees. Why not the Knicks, if I might ask? Why not the Knicks? Tommy DeVito. Matt, appreciate you for joining up, man. Tommy DeVito. It could be Tommy DeVito's season eventually. Who knows? Who knows? Now, maybe could it be Drew Lock? Who knows? But sucks that we're here talking about this, man. Sucks that we're here talking about this. When you look at the Seahawks defense, I think their pass rush has been a little bit underappreciated. Leonard Williams surprisingly has been balling out for the Seahawks, man. Let me go search up Leonard Williams stats real quick. I think I saw a stat that he was leading like top 10 in pressures, which is amazing to see. If I could pull up his stats. So right now, he has a sack and a half. It's just 2 solo tackles, which it's hard to get a read on certain defensive players, especially if you're a D tackle. If you look at Dexter Lawrence, I don't think you'll see a million tackles either. Let's see if you can find pressures. I want to see his pressures. PFF grades him well. Pressures. And I cannot currently find it right now. Pro Football Reference. Yeah, they don't want to show me pressures. But Leonard Williams is still being productive. That's my point with it. Leonard Williams is still being productive at this moment. So, with their pass rush, once again, our O-line is going to have to step up. I think our O-line has been good throughout this first couple. I'm not going to say great and fantastic, but they've been good. Good enough for sure. When you look at it, obviously Daniel Jones is going to be the focal point. Is he going to play well enough? Are we going to be able to establish the run? We didn't establish the run at all last year, and you could look at it. I think yards per carry were the worst team in the league, which that's no good. That's no good. This team is going to have to start turning things around. They're going to have to start leaning on different players, get the running game going, then starting to incorporate the pass plays. But once again, if there's no Malik Neighbors, there's no game. There's no game, in my opinion. Metcalf could have been a giant. He was just sitting in that draft. The Giants don't end up drafting guys like that. That's the only annoying part. That is the only annoying part, man. They don't end up drafting guys like that. But he was definitely available. A.J. Brown was available in that draft, too. A.J. Brown was wearing Giants merch. That's what A.J. Brown was doing. A.J. Brown. If y'all didn't know this, man, A.J. Brown was wearing a Giants shirt at one point, man. Go ahead and share my screen real quick. Get you out my head. So right here, man, A.J. Brown once upon a time was wearing a Giants shirt. He could have been a Giant. It's funny to hear what are we talking about? You know, first week of October into the Giant season. This is what we're talking about. But I will always say they messed this up. They messed this up. A.J. Brown should have been a Giant. Should have been a Giant. It shouldn't have been this way. It shouldn't have been this way, y'all. It should not have been this way. But here we are. But catch up real quick. Paul saying, I am really starting to hate Mara/Tisch regime of ownership. They still have family members in personnel. You got to look at that as a reason too. But I think, you know, the past couple of years, they've been pulled back from everything. Maybe not everything, but for a good amount. And this team is still not performing. Nets were in Jersey and I live in Jersey. It was our only one true team other than hockey. I can see that. I can see that. Matt saying Hyatt needs to start. Hyatt needs to get some playing time for sure. There's no excuse for no playing time. Starting, I can maybe back up on that. If they don't believe he should be starting, then I'm not going to force him to. But yeah, Hyatt should be getting playing time. Hyatt also needs to produce when targeted is his biggest handicap, and it's still his route running 100%. DeVito is at Brock Purdy. Matt, you're high on the cut list, man. Matt, you are high on the cut list, huh? Williams is 24% on pressure this year. Appreciate that, House. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. I think, once again, I definitely think that projects pretty high against other people in this league. Leonard Williams has been a surprise. I don't think the answer is DeVito. He's a good backup, but not a number one. And I agree. There's a reason why after Tommy DeVito won some games, they benched him again. They benched him for Tyrod Taylor to come back because the offense ended up stalemating. So, no, Tommy DeVito is not the answer. But, hey, keep him out because he might win us some games. It's unfortunate. If we're going to go for a quarterback, and I joke when I say that, but keep him out because if you put him in, we might win some games. And next thing you know, then we get put in a situation where we're not drafting a quarterback when we should. I'm just saying. Y'all. So speaking on this matchup, once again, man, get the run going. The offense needs to put up points. If we are not putting up at least 25 points, we're definitely not winning this game. I don't even expect our defense to hold them below 25, but I'm just saying if we're not getting to 25 points, we're not winning this game. And if you look at it, the Giants haven't scored 25 points all year. We haven't scored 25 points all year. I'm not even saying 30. I'm saying 25. You can score 24. We haven't scored 24 yet. You know, like this team has not put up points, and that's going to be the Achilles heel until it's reversed. We got to play maker like Neighbors, and we still can't get in the end zone. There's no excuses for this stuff, man. There's no excuses for it. Piece of my chair was bugging out. We got to get this stuff figured out, man. We got to get this stuff figured out. Once again, man, if you are in the live stream, make sure you say what's good in the chat. We read every single chat. Like up the stream if you brush your teeth this morning. And if you didn't, y'all know what to do, man. Go brush it. C-Rock, appreciate you, my boy. He says, Mara and Tisch should be sat down with Shane and ask him, what the F are you doing? What the F are you doing? I agree, man. Once again, Shane, third year in the regime, this is pay-up time. This is time that you got to show progression and show that this team is building. The offense was a problem, and the offense still is a problem. Still is. Man, we're going to get cooked. Darian, man, what's up? Appreciate you for joining up, and I hope we don't get cooked. DK versus Banks is a field day. Start DK Metcalf in your fantasy league. I'm rooting for Banks. I still love Banks. I still think he could be a great player. Should be and could be. First rounder, you should be showing progression. Until he makes plays on the ball, man, we're going to be talking about him like this. I have faith in our defense if they play the way they look in paper. Our defense can hold guys out, but if the offense doesn't put up points, it just won't change a thing, unfortunately. House, appreciate you. You said, I'm a Seahawks fan. I think Neighbors is a stud. Don't really respect Jones, but just hoping for a good, non-injury, close game. I appreciate that, my guy. Neighbors is definitely a stud. Definitely a stud. But the jury will still be out on Jones, man. The jury will still be out on Jones. And listen, I don't blame you for not respecting him. Y'all saw what y'all did against him last year. Y'all saw what y'all did. Play Hyatt, Theo, Bellinger, and Tyrone, please. I actually haven't seen too much of Tyrone Tracy. Like, Singletary gets a lot of run. As we thought it was going to be more, running back by committee. Singletary gets a good amount of run. Tracy steps in on certain passing situations, but they really are kind of leaning on Singletary a lot. Just stop fumbling the ball. Hyatt route running is fine. He proved that last year. Dayball kept putting on Isaiah Slow Hodgins in the lineup. That sabotaged Hyatt's playing time. That could be true. Hodgins did play a lot. That could be true. Now, Hyatt also, I feel like, once again, with Isaiah Hodgins off this team, what is the excuse right now? Something is definitely going on behind the scenes, man. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Our wide receivers are 31st in the league for drop balls. Pause. I like you said pause. I'm glad you set that up for me, man. Yeah, I did see this stat. The stat is definitely not a good stat. And my last video, my second to last video, I talked about Daniel Jones. I said, Daniel Jones supporters, watch this video where I was completely just saying, I don't care if Daniel Jones played decent. We're not winning games. If he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback in our eyes, he shouldn't be on this team. I still feel that same way, but a lot of people were telling me, the wide receivers are dropping the balls. Daniel Jones can't catch his throws, all those different things. I understand all those things, but still, in my opinion, he's not going to be able to do enough. He's not doing enough. Like, everything could still be perfect, and I just don't think we'll be putting up points like that. That's just my honest opinion. Who would you want to draft in 2025 since he's probably going to have a top pick? Shaking my head. H2O, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you joining up. Yeah, man, I spoke on it. I think at the trajectory of this season, if we don't play our way out of a quarterback, it should be a quarterback. And I'm cool with Shador, Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe. That's what I'm sold on. Carson Beck kind of screams bust, but Carson Beck could also be the number one quarterback in this draft class. That's kind of what it is. And then obviously Quinn Ewers is still a top pick. But will he be a pick by the Giants? I don't know. Some may argue for Shador, right? Sanders, Dion went out and said that, he's picking where his son is going. And he will say if it's not a big market, he ain't going there. New York is probably the biggest market you'll be able to get. Shador coming here and turning things around would be great. I don't think this front office would want Shador. I don't think they would invite Shador in, especially with his attitude and the way he is cocky and all these different things. In my opinion, and I know a lot of us are old school and we like certain things to be a certain way, keep all that stuff to the side. I don't care what you think about having an attitude and having moxie and stuff. Some of your guys need to have a certain mentality to it. That's the thing that scared people away from Micah Parsons. And look at what Micah Parsons has been. I'll still hold on to that because the Giants should have drafted Parsons, and instead we did not. And our first round pick that year is not even on the team anymore. Darren saying we need to trade some players like Slayton. We need to let Tracy play. I agree. Slayton, we spoke on it. Slayton for a second round pick, third round pick, I'd do it. Anything less, I won't do it. Steven was good. He said, sad part about Jones, shaking my head. He'll be back next year to mentor the quarterback if the Giants draft one. That actually wouldn't be that sad, though. I'm going to be honest. Give them time to a little develop. Now, I'm a big believer on if you're going to sit a quarterback behind someone, it better be someone that's, worth sitting behind. Is Daniel Jones that? I don't know. I got a couple of friends that are Patriots fans, and I'm saying, when is Drake May going to come in? They're saying they want him to learn a little bit more, sit behind. Who's their quarterback right now? I'm forgetting his name. But currently, their quarterback right now, you want him to learn behind him? Jacoby Brissett. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. Jacoby Brissett. You want May to sit behind Brissett and learn? I think he needs game reps eventually. He should take over this team eventually. Big Blue, Steph forever. Appreciate you, my guy. He says, sup, bro? First time on your stream. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, bro. Make sure you subbed up if you haven't already. We talk about the Giants weekly. No matter what the record is, no matter what they produce on the field, man, we still here to produce content and talk about it with y'all, man. I'm just like y'all. And that's why we sit here and talk together, man. Hyatt needs to play to see what we got, but we need somebody decent to throw them the ball. It's like I'm almost tired of talking about it, man. Tommy D cost us Jaden Daniels. He did. Jaden Daniels looks really good, man. He looks really good. Once again, we did go live with Rio Robinson. Make sure you sub it to my guy, Rio. Definitely appreciate him for jumping on the channel, and we talked about it that certain week. Will we run it back for the second matchup with Washington? We'll see. But we spoke on Jaden Daniels and what he looked at that point. You know, definitely he wasn't throwing the ball the way he is now, and now this guy's laying it up. He's laying it up. Now, defenses will adjust. You know, eventually when he plays a really good defense, we'll see how he, plays and fares. But Jaden Daniels looked good, and it is sick to see that Dayball wanted Jaden Daniels, and we couldn't get him because Tommy Cutlets won us some games. Matt saying, I say let DeVito or Locke be the starters and draft a guard or offensive tackle. Matt, respectfully, I'm not letting DeVito be the starter. I am not. Respectfully, though. Respectfully. Omega saying Giants are a franchise that rather draft and develop a generational quarterback than trade or pay a guy already established in the league. I agree. We need cockiness because we got none. Hardly any dogs in this team. C-Rock. If I could pin this from here, which that's the only thing on this. I told you, I'm still getting used to the streaming platform. That's the only thing with this one. It doesn't let me pin from here. But if I had to pin one, I'm pinning this one. We got hardly any dogs. We got certain ones. Dexter Lawrence, Malik Neighbors, Andrew Thomas. That's about it. We got gamers. Those are the gamers that we have on the team. We need more guys like that. And that's why this whole mentality, people forget Lawrence Taylor was not the best human being. Like, we know that. Lawrence Taylor was not the best human being. And the Giants had no problem keeping him. But yet, we trade away Odell because he's a diva. And we can't draft guys because they have character issues. That almost was the case for Malik Neighbors. I'm so glad that didn't stop us from drafting Neighbors. I think that Neighbors is going to be great. But they started to, unravel towards the end of the draft, saying that Malik Neighbors has character concerns and you don't know what you're getting from him. And that first thing that we saw with Malik Neighbors being in the club and people were going irate, come on, man, get out of here. These guys are human beings. Malik Neighbors just turned old enough to get a drink. He's 21 years old. Come on, man. That's why I can't side with this cockiness and all these different things. I can't side with that, man. I can't. H.O. saying Jalen Hurts is overrated. Jalen Hurts is Daniel Jones. Maybe. Giants were known to have killers on our defense, figuratively speaking. Well, I hope not literally. Jalen Hurts is worse than DJ. He proved that against the Bucks. I just joked around and said it, but I could be speaking a little bit of truth, man. Jalen Hurts without his weapons looks terrible. And don't forget what Jalen Hurts was before A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith were there. Don't forget what Jalen Hurts was. We seen him. We beat that Eagles team fine like that. Yo, let's be honest. In 2022, the team looked and played tough. Since then, the team looks soft. Steven, I don't know how I want to say it, or if I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly. But I agree with you, man. The team in 2022 is not as talented as the teams that we've seen the last 2 years, and they still somehow, some way look soft. They look soft. A lot of these streams, man, unless we win games, are going to sound like rants, and respectfully so. Respectfully, it should be. This team is not giving us what we deserve, man. The Giants need to start losing. Big Taz was good. Appreciate you for joining up. If the Giants didn't win those stupid games last season, they would have had Jaden Daniels. Nothing but the truth, man. Nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. Darren saying, start losing. We already are losing. Big task. And he replies, good, keep it up. Yes, sir. Hurts is overrated. Hurts is overrated, and it might be us too. But yeah, man, we are already losing. We are indeed already losing. So let's talk about our X Factor, man. Who's the X Factor in this Giants to Seahawks game? Other than Daniel Jones, who is a guy that needs to have a great game for us to win? For us to get this W. I know it's not on our side. I know, do we expect the team to win? No. But if you had to say an X Factor to win this game, who are you choosing on this Giants team? In my opinion, I'm talking about the offense, and I'm going to look at guys like Tyrone Tracy, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm looking at those guys. Why? Because these are the guys that literally were fumbling the ball this past week. Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton, Singletary, Tyrone Tracy. It's the other guys for me. We know what we'll get out of Malik Neighbors. We know what we're going to get out of obviously Daniel Jones to an extent. We know what we're going to get out of him. We know we're going to get out of the defense. I'm over here fumbling over my words. The other guys need to have a game for us. They do. Malik Neighbors, all of these. I mean, Malik Neighbors, we know what he's going to get, but the other guys needs to get around, man. So I'm talking about the offensive side of the ball. Talking about the offensive side of the ball. Burns and Kayvon are pretty boys, scared to get dirty, in my opinion. They are divas. Hey, Burns balled out. Burns balled out last game. I mean, I'm sorry. Not Burns. I take that back. Kayvon balled out last week. Kayvon balled out. Just entered the chat. How much DJ slander have I missed? TP, appreciate you for joining up, man. Hey, me and TP are going live next week, y'all. Make sure you stay tuned for that. We will be going live next week. Definitely excited to have TP on the channel. And if you don't know who TP is, man, go subscribe over there, man. He's another Giants content creator like myself. Salute, Juke, man. Hope all is well. Big Tats, once again, haven't seen you in a bit. Love to see you here, man. Appreciate you. Banks is his X Factor. Banks is C-Rock's X Factor. Banks has to have a good game. He got to shut down DK. It's just that offense is a pretty good offense over there, man. I'm going to be honest. That offense is pretty good. They got some dogs at the wide receiver position, even outside of DK. I think the offense is going to be the reason why we got to win, man. Burns, please have a game. We had that strip sack against Cleveland, but we need to see consistent play. We need to see consistent play out of Burns, man. Consistent play out of Burns. Salute, not that much. Oh, he's talking about DJ slander. We're going to be talking about it next week, man. We will be talking about it next week. Hopefully it's on a good note. Darian saying Burns. I could agree. Steven saying Cam Ward doesn't look like he has it. You still like him to be the quarterback for the G-Men? I don't know. In my opinion, for what I've seen so far, I think he does have that ability. I think he does. I don't get paid millions of dollars to draft quarterbacks, and I feel like drafting a quarterback is probably the hardest thing to do in this league. I like what I've seen out of Cam Ward so far. We'll see what he continues to do. We will see. Fee FIFO Fum. Omega once again. I just got in, so I didn't get started on Daniel Jones yet. Big Blue saying back to the quarterback thing, the main thing that gives DeVito an edge, he's fiery, and his offense responds to that. With DJ, his vanilla personality don't get his teammates fired up. Hey, the DJ slander's already starting. The DJ slander's already starting. I'm going to make this clear. Daniel Jones, sometimes I feel like he doesn't do enough, but I want to see this guy win. I want to see him win. I have a Daniel Jones jersey in my closet right here. I want to see him win. But at some point, man, let me catch up real quick. Collab, yes, sir. Next week. Stay tuned. TP on me on the channel, man. Stay tuned for that, man. next week. Definitely a Giants soldier for sure. And TP, man, if you're still in the chat, we need you to pull it to the game, man. If we really want to win, we need you to pull it to the game. That's what we need. Man, Jalen Hyatt is the X factor, but we can't throw the ball deep. I think that's very well said, Darren. I think it's very well said. And you can include Jalen Hyatt in that, man. For me, my X factor, once again, is overall, once again, the other guys. Malik Neighbors, we know. Daniel Jones, we know. But the other guys need to get things going and win this game. If we're going to have any chance, you got to look at it how we beat the Seahawks a couple years ago when Colt McCoy was our starting quarterback. This is years back now, but I think we could all remember that win. If you're in the chat and you remember that win, definitely let me know. We won with running the ball and playing good defense. That's how we won. We didn't have flashy plays. We didn't have spectacular plays. We just played good, sound football. I think that's what we're going to need. We're going to need other guys to step up to try to help get this win. The defense, I think, will limit the Seahawks a bit. Will they stop them? Not necessarily, but they will limit them a bit. This Giants team needs to put up points and play sound football. For sure. Bro, like AI said on your channel, Daniel Jones is still having trouble throwing deep ball. Hey, man, we're going to talk about it. We need our front seven to stop Walker because he's a stud. Kenneth Walker, I didn't think he was going to be that nice entering the league. I remember him at Michigan State, and I don't watch too much college football, but this guy was going crazy at Michigan State. And he's still a guy. We definitely need to stop the run, and we'll see if we can. The Cowboys were getting off some runs last week that had me pissed off, man. Why is Zeke still burning us for 6 yards on a run, man? That can't get away from it. Baytas, you're all right, but there's more to it. Me and Juke will talk about it next week. Once again, man, stay tuned next week. It's going to be good. We need to win this season. We already have quarterbacks. Getting a rookie quarterback draft pick isn't going to magically change and help this team. Most top rookie first quarterback draft picks are a bust. Matt, you are pretty accurate with this, but I don't have to tell you to look far. Go look at the Commanders. Go look at the Commanders. Do we think the Commanders are has a better roster than the Giants right now? Receivers wise, I don't think so. Terry McLaurin is good, but I think Malik Neighbors is better. Offensive line, I think going into it, you would have thought the Giants, but Bobby Johnson got that team playing right now. The running back position, I'll give it to the Commanders. Defensively, our defense is better than their defense. Their defense is one of the worst in the league. But guess what? Drafting a quarterback changed their whole vibe, changed their whole environment, and the team is playing good. Sick to say that, but that's what they're looking like. I'm not crapping on DJ in total. Just you already have seen his ceiling, and keeping him in place for the rest of the season. Cam Ward will be a Giant. Just might be, man. Just might be. Justin Pugh looked disappointed in his Giants fans for Thursday Night Football. I gotta go see that video. I haven't seen it yet. I gotta go check out that video. I have not seen it yet. I would definitely be here for that stream. Big Tess, you gotta pull up now. I was hating on you getting all those autographs in Cleveland. Nah, that was sick. TP. Hyatt needs to start. DeVito is our Brock Purdy. This chat be doing this to me, man. It brings me back up. That's my bad. It be bringing me back up sometimes, man. Let me catch up real quick. Imagine DJ on the tag and Saquon and Neighbors lining up together. I know it's a pipe dream, but damn. I can only dream. A lot of people talk about Neighbors and Saquon on the same team. I look at it with Odell and Saquon. Odell and Saquon were on the same team at one point, and things didn't work out, you know. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't have worked out most definitely, but we've seen Saquon with Odell, and I don't think personally you'll see a better version of Saquon than his rookie year. Rookie year, Saquon was a different beast, man. A different beast. Saquon was my favorite player, and I still hold out, you know, some hope for my man Saquon, even though it sucks that he's on the Eagles. But overall, man, rookie version of Saquon, the best version we're going to see out of him. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. The play calling at targets, and again, Malik Neighbors hurt again. The other receivers and tight ends need to be involved in the play calling. And I was worried about that, man. There was one tackle in this Cowboys game that he got tackled low, and I was like, that does not look good. And luckily, he bounced right back up. I was worried about it, but This is a very true point, man. If he continues to get the targets that he is, which I love to see it, he might get himself hurt. Or not himself, but we might get himself hurt. X factor on O is Tracy, explosive plays. On D, Bobby O. He can wreck this game, especially if he helps stop the run and helps create turnovers. Hey, Micah McFadden. PFS posting stuff about Micah McFadden. Micah McFadden is not getting enough love. You might see a video on him pretty soon. Don't forget to support the channel, fellas, by hitting the like button, please. Omega said it best. If you brush your teeth this morning, like up the stream. Like up the stream. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate y'all for tapping in once again. TP saying, I can't get that Witherspoon pick out of my head from last time we played Seattle. I hope DJ in this offense remembers that and wants to redeem themselves. That's exactly what I spoke on in the beginning of the stream, man. Last year, that Seattle game, we were really had a lot of expectations, and we were like, if this Giants team is going to be anything, they got to get this W. And that drive looked so good all the way up until that pick six at the goal line. And, man, the vibes were bad after that one. The vibes were definitely bad after that one. I hope they bounce back. Stroud and Daniels changed their respective team completely. Quarterbacks do make a difference. C-Rock, I agree with you, man. That was Odell coming back from an injury. Very true. X factor will be our defensive line. Coaching and great quarterback play will change the team completely. Pretty soon, we got to look at coaching too. Y'all. I talk about it with Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is not the sole reason why this team is not performing. He's not. I do believe a good quarterback and a great quarterback changes the team and to get all together, but there's a lot more problems on this team, man, than Daniel Jones. A lot more. So, yeah, man, we locked in on this Lock In Live, man. Once again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like the stream. Try to push the content out there. And, yeah, man, I have a video posted up tomorrow. We got a couple more videos to post before game day this Sunday. They do play at the 4:25 slot. I might be able to go live after the game this Sunday. Stay tuned for that. I can't commit 100% because I don't know what my schedule's looking like. Y'all know I work retail. It's kind of tough out here. But I'm definitely looking to go live after this Sunday. But if you don't see me, man, you'll stay tuned for these videos that's coming out soon. Hopefully the Giants get this W, man, and hopefully we're not talking about quarterbacks next stream. That's all I hope. We're not talking about quarterbacks next stream, man. Overall, man, appreciate everyone in the chat. Omega, Darian, C-Rock, H2O, Big Taz, TP, everybody that pulled up. If I missed y'all, just know I still love y'all, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.